feel like he's like a bully fighter. He's a great fighter. He's put in the time. He's put in the work. One thing that happens when you haven't had octagon time, you know, you find yourself getting ahead of the rankings without proving outside. There's a lot of fear in the unknown. There's like a lot of tough players here that Aspinall hasn't developed because of how short these fights have been. When I was 23 years old, I was fighting the top guys in the world. I'm seeing Tom Aspinall around that same age getting handled by people that no one's ever heard. So I've seen him tough twice. I watched the Curtis Blades situation where he looked like Curtis Blades came to beat Tom Aspinall up tonight. You know, Curtis was confident, came right at Tom. He was landing great strikes. Tom throws a kick. Naturally gets hit. Blowing your knees, but I would expect fighting that Lewis to at least attempt to end that, or at least try to walk on it. And with Tommy, he was just completely out of the fight. So these are things that I'm paying attention to. His last situation with Ciryl Gane, poke in the eye. Normally you see fighters that doing this number or, you know, trying to get the doctor to look at it. It was actually, initially the doctor's just like, you look fine. Yeah. But Tom's like, no, I can't. The guy wasn't trying. You know,
that you feel like this is the next step in your career.
Lutar com o Jon Jones, meu interesse é, por quem ele é, né? Um cara que fez muito pelo esporte, tem um nome muito grande. E eu tô vindo também, meu nome tá crescendo a cada dia. Acho que é muito interessante para mim, para ele, acho que para todo mundo ali, né? Então, as duas partes já mostrou interesse, né? Falta aí o UFC se pronunciar e vamos ver.
Jon Jones just called Tom Aspinall coward. Yes, you heard that right. The GOAT himself isn't holding back anymore. Jones says he doesn't want a coward in the octagon. He wants a warrior like Alex Pereira. This is huge because we're talking about one of the greatest fighters of all time openly questioning Aspinall's heart, his courage, and his warrior spirit. And all of this comes from what Jones witnessed in that controversial fight against Ciryl Gane.
Been a sneaky here early. If he's prepared, oh, the Wolves. Look like an eye poke there has gone.
Dana White has been pushing hard to make Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall happen. But Jones is firmly saying, no way, and his reasons might shock you. This isn't just fight talk anymore, it's outright character assassination. From Jones' explosive interview to his rapid-fire Twitter shots, he's questioning Aspinall's courage while praising Alex Pereira as the real challenge.
Jon Jones behind the scene is not a guy that turns down fights.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah, I'll say 100%.
In the UFC heavyweight division, Jones just dropped an atomic bomb on Tom Aspinall, and the fallout is wild. Imagine the greatest mixed martial artist of all time looking into the camera and saying, Tom Aspinall is a coward. I don't fight cowards. I want warriors like Alex Pereira. Hard to believe, right? Jones is openly questioning Aspinall's heart, his courage, and his warrior spirit. And according to him, he has receipts to prove it.
But I do feel like he's a one fighter. He's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, incredibly old. He has beautiful 1-2. That's really about it. One thing that he's setting up real nice. He couldn't touch Ciryl at all. That's the way I feel. I feel like
Dana White has been pushing hard for Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, even calling it the biggest heavyweight fight in history. But Jones is slamming the brakes. He's made it clear, I don't need him, especially after Aspinall's most recent performance.
We told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. Jon Jones versus the heavyweight fight will happen. Relax. I'll announce that soon.
So what did Jon Jones see that made him label Tom Aspinall a coward? Why is he chasing Alex Pereira instead? And how does this shake up the historic White House card on the horizon? One version of the story hits fast and hard. The other builds tension and suspense. But both focus on Jones' shocking accusation, the Pereira comparison, and Dana White's attempts to make Jones versus Aspinall a reality.
You know, I want what I find to be super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. That my value doesn't lie in belts anymore. I go to something much bigger.
Jones went on record saying, "I don't feel like I need him, especially after his last performance. I believe time will show the world who I am and what I've accomplished. And just because someone is newer or maybe more exciting doesn't mean they can replace what's already established."
Especially after his last. I think time will show the world kind of who I am and what I've done. You know, just because someone's newer or maybe more exciting doesn't mean that they replace what is earned.
That's a direct shot, ladies and gentlemen. And now we get to what really set Jon Jones off, the Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane fight. This is where the controversy kicked in. Jones had questioned Aspinall's previous performances before, but seeing him refuse to continue after an eye poke in his most recent bout with Gane was, in Jones' mind, all the proof he needed about the current UFC heavyweight champion.
Before we said, one thing that happens when you haven't had octagon time, you know, you find yourself getting ahead of the victims without proving a lot. It's like a tough layer of skin that Aspinall had.
Here's what Jones observed, and this is coming from a man who has spent over a decade inside the octagon. Jones pointed to Aspinall's last fight with Ciryl Gane, saying that after the eye poke, most fighters would check their vision, blink it out, or at least ask the doctor to evaluate it. In this case, the doctor initially felt Aspinall was okay to continue, but Tom immediately responded, "I can't fight. I can't see." To Jones, it wasn't just about injury. He believed Aspinall wasn't even trying to recover. In Jones' eyes, the man didn't want to see, and he didn't want to fight.
These are things that I'm paying attention to. This last situation with Ciryl Gane, he gets poked in the eye. Normally you see fighters doing this number or, you know, trying to get the doctor to look at it. And actually, initially the doctor's just like, he seems fine.
Yeah.
And Tom's like, "No, I can't.
I can't see. And the ref was like, "Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. Take some time."
The guy wasn't trying to see. Yeah, the guy didn't want to.
But wait, there's more. Jones pointed out something even more suspicious about Aspinall's eye poke incident. The eye he covered was actually the one that hadn't been fully poked. One eye had the finger go completely under the eyelid, while the other was only touched on top of the eyelid. Yet Aspinall ended up grabbing the eye that was barely affected, the one where the finger just rested on top of the eyelid.
Other things, like the eye that he was covering appeared to be the eye that actually didn't penetrate. Yeah. You know, one eye, it goes all the way underneath the eyelid. The other eye, it was on top of the eyelid. Yeah. He ends up grabbing the eye where the finger was on top.
Another thing Jones noticed was that the eye Aspinall kept covering appeared to be the one that wasn't actually poked. One eye had the finger go all the way under the eyelid, while the other was only touched on top. Yet Aspinall ended up grabbing the eye that was barely affected, the one where the finger just rested on top of the eyelid.